Wait, I need the football. Time out.
Welcome to the Extra Point Pod. Tim decided to do something.
We need a football. We need the football. Like, it's kind of a good luck charm, if you will. It's just something to hold, something to have. Shut up. Okay. I'm one of those people that I need to hold the. I don't know. I can't. I'm not good with my hands. Like, remember the Ricky Bobby scene in Talladega Nights when he wins the race or comes in second?
I do with my hand?
Yeah, he's like holding him like that. That's great. But Extra Point Podcast presented by Beauty Counter. Before we came on, I asked you how your weekend was. I know the Bears. It was a close loss. So we'll talk. We won't have to talk about that game. I mean, we can skip it if you want. Well, quickly before we get into the games, what do you think? There's a lot of this Deshaun Watson talk out there. Carolina is reportedly interested. Miami, Philadelphia, maybe Denver. I mean, do you think he will get dealt, and to whom?
See, the hard part about this situation is he can be a game changer if he plays, but that's just a big if he can play. As of right now, Panthers will probably be one of the best fits, if not the Broncos. I mean, one of the two.
Yeah.
I know those are the two front runners, but why? Just why? I don't understand. Well, I mean, I guess the Panthers I understand because Sam Darnold sucks as always. And yeah, I don't know, man.
It's tough. I saw a where is it? I think it was BR Gridiron. I think I saw, there's stuff about, with the Dolphins being interested in Deshaun. Tua's last 2 weeks, 6 touchdowns, in parentheses, 3 interceptions, 620 yards, 75% completion, 2 go-ahead fourth quarter touchdown drives, 4th best Pro Football Focus quarterback grade. So take that for what you will. Like, do they believe in him? Is the question.
Here's the thing that I've been seeing about Tua is he's such like a follower of what's going on with the game. So if there's an interception that the Dolphins pick off, then he'll throw one right after. And if there's a touchdown scored, then he'll throw one right after. It's like he never just takes control and just does like I'm not saying that he's trying to copy other teams like drive for drop, but that's what it sure seems like it.
Yeah. One last note I think here. Well, number one, I think Deshaun gets dealt. I think it'd be really interesting because Carolina gave up not a haul, but a 2nd, a 4th, a 6th round pick for Sam Darnold. I think Denver, after watching them against Cleveland, Teddy Bridgewater's not as mobile as Deshaun is. Like, Deshaun is more of a game changer than I love Teddy, but I feel like with that defense,
Teddy's also hurt.
Yeah, that is true. I think Deshaun has a higher ceiling. And again, we'll see what the legal process is. It's also important to remember, like, if you're thinking Miami's thinking about how this thing is going to turn out, what if he gets suspended for a whole year? Like, let's say you give up 3 first-round picks or whatever, but then he's suspended for a year. If this whole thing goes that direction, I just think, like, you're in trouble then. Like, you really want to plan for 22, 24 months ahead, whatever. So I think that's something to pay attention to. I was going to make another point. I completely forgot about that. But we should just jump right into the games because my point is probably useless anyway at this point. I mean, most of my points are apparently. So we'll talk. So there's some big news out of Green Bay with the COVID stuff. Do you want to talk about that tomorrow, or do you want to talk about it when we get to the Green Bay game? Probably should.
Tomorrow. We should.
Tomorrow.
Let's do it tomorrow. Although we'll have time. I mean, these are all crap games that we just watched this weekend. So we might have time.
It's a conversation. We'll see how it goes. Play it by ear. Broncos Browns Thursday night. The better team won. Case Keenum played very well. I think Stefanski had a great, he had some great plays ready to go. Couple of nice little screen passes. D'Ernest Johnson, how do I put this lightly? Dude's a stud. And I know it's only one game. I know there was no Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt. This guy's, he's going to get a contract. Yeah, I really believe after just one game. And look, I know the Broncos might not be playing their best ball, but Vic Fangio's a hell of a defensive coordinator. They should have played better. They didn't. But D'Ernest Johnson, that's him. Like, the guy balled absolutely. He kind of looked like Allen Iverson, to be honest with you, with some of his cutbacks. Sort of like Philip Lindsay-esque. I don't know. I saw a little comparison there. But they came to play. Denver, it wasn't too little too late. The game was, it was within reach. They had a chance, to come back. They did. But they just couldn't stop them wasn't it like 3rd and 7 at the end of the game, and they ran the ball. Like, that's a problem. When it's a third, it reminds me of the Green Bay Packers defenses. Like, when it's a 3rd and 7, can't stop the run. That's an issue. And for Vic Fangio, you know it very well. Like, Bill Belichick, I'm trying to think of some other defensive coaches ahead of him. There aren't very many. He's a very good defensive coach, and for that to happen, I don't know. I think he might be on thin ice.
Come back to the Bears. I don't know. Maybe, just maybe. I'll take him back. But I think we all underestimated Case Keenum and his abilities. I know we both picked the Broncos this weekend.
Good.
Thursday night.
Good. Okay.
But Keenum. He went out and balled. D'Ernest Johnson went out and just lit the world on fire with his running ability. They did what they needed to do. They took care of a very crappy Broncos team that might be absolutely dead. The most receptions that anybody got on the Browns was 5 with Jarvis Landry, and that was for only 37 yards. They spread the ball around very, very well. Case Keenum only threw for $1.99 with a tud. It's not like it was overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's not like there was anything overwhelming. It was just more of they did what they needed to do in order to win this football game. And the Broncos stink.
Yeah, that's how you become a winning franchise. I think taking it week by week. I hear Matt LaFleur talk about this every week. Like, hey, take it one game at a time. That's how you do it. I know it sounds cliche. I'm sure the media nerds are going to be annoyed by it because it's the same thing. But hey, man, just take it week by week, and we'll see what happens. And Cleveland are they sitting at 5? No, they're 4-3. Yeah, Browns are 4-3. So just get back to 500. Maybe give Baker some more time to get healthy. That's all you can ask for, I think, from Case. So they won with a safe plan. That's all you can ask for. Let's go to Sunday. Titans Chiefs. You picked the Titans, right?
I did.
Okay. They just can't stop the run. They're usually the best defense. Sometimes it's a good offense. Chiefs didn't have any of it. Mahomes, of course, again, going back to the Packers.
No, it couldn't stop the pass.
Mahomes' last 13 games, I think he's thrown 12 picks. I think actually there's a larger streak out there. But they're just, when you have a team that's been on top for the last few years, it's been very good. Teams are going to start to catch up. And again, Tennessee had a great formula. They have a very good quarterback in Ryan Tannehill. They have an all-world running back, a future Hall of Famer in Derrick Henry. A.J. Brown had a great game. Defense is probably the worst part of Tennessee's team. I think they've struggled over the last few years, but man, they had a gutty performance against Buffalo, and then this week they slay the Chiefs. I don't know who the best team. We'll get to the Ravens and the Bengals and stuff. I don't know who the best team in the AFC is after this week. I don't.
The AFC is That's a big toss-up right now. I mean, so many teams are just going up and down, up and down, up and down. The Chiefs are
Oh yeah.
staying on a consistent downhill slope right now. They're
Mm-hmm.
probably going to win this coming Monday
Oh
night because
yeah.
they're playing the Giants. So
Yeah. At
that is what
home.
it is.
This
But
week at the Manning cast.
true.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Chiefs. I mean, they shut down Derrick Henry for the most part. 29 rushes for 86 yards. I mean, when you
Mm-hmm.
hold Derrick Henry to that, I mean that's very impressive. But then they
Uh-huh.
let AJ Brown just go off,
Yeah.
and Derrick Henry is trying to say, "Hey, my MVP voting can really count too because I can throw
Mm-hmm.
touchdown passes now as well." I mean, he got that 5-yard touchdown pass right in
Yeah.
there. Just that was
It's.
good.
I mean, if you said like, oh hey, Derrick Henry's going to have 29 rushes for 86 yards and Tannehill's going to throw only one touchdown and a pick, what? Chiefs by 20, 25? No. Titans, Vrabel, they pulled it out, and after that tough loss to the Jets, and by tough, like it wasn't like a heartbreaker, it was just like, well, it was a heartbreaker for a different reason. You just can't lose to the Jets, but they've rebounded very nicely. Um, Panthers, Giants. I thought the Panthers were going to come out and, I thought they would be the one that would win 25-3, but Daniel Jones did his OBJ one-handed snag. I didn't really pay much attention to this game other than just Darnold got benched. And, hey, P.J. Walker, it was nice to see him in there. I know he's a journeyman coming in from the there have been I can't remember the leagues, the AAF or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a journeyman, and it was nice to see him in there because you want to root for those guys, but it was in a bad set of circumstances because the Panthers got crushed and the Giants are not a good team. It's just Panthers started off 3-0. I know McCaffrey's not there, but you got to go beat the Giants. I thought they
Chuba
didn't.
Hubbard's not that bad of a backup. That's what you got to
No,
realize too.
no, he's
Like
not.
I know McCaffrey's just in a class of his own. Don't get me wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but like Chuba Hubbard's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I just don't understand about this Panthers team. Like you
Mm-hmm.
lose one guy, and now all of a sudden your entire world crumbles. It's not your quarterback. Like
Mm-hmm.
now to go back to what you were saying earlier, the Packers are going to be missing Devontae, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their last 6 games without Devontae, they've been 6-0. I mean that's basically their offense is Rodgers
Mm-hmm.
to Devontae.
Mm-hmm.
Now if you put in whatever quarterback with Christian McCaffrey, I mean that's almost the same kind of duo except for McCaffrey runs the ball. That's
Mm-hmm.
basically the one main difference. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. I do not understand how the Panthers can be this bad at the football.
That those 2015 Super Bowl participants, Denver and the Panthers, starting off hot, and then they just come right back to earth. So
Terrible.
They're looking for someone to come back. I mean, Deshaun Watson, Christian McCaffrey duo sounds pretty good with some capable receivers, but until it
Anything but
happens,
Sam Darnold.
yeah.
Why the hell you trade for that? I don't understand, but
Their defense is young, and they've made some. Again, this was not their, but they have some potential. We've seen it. They have potential. It was not their best week, obviously, but you get Deshaun Watson, kind of a franchise changer like that. Obviously, maybe this stuff doesn't happen anymore, but until then, it's just it's a bummer in Carolina. Falcons Jets, the most entertaining game of the week. Looks like. I mean, Matt Ryan. I told you. Did you pick the Dolphins?
wait, you said Falcons Jets. What are we doing? Falcons Dolphins or Jets Patriots?
Sorry, Falcons Dolphins. I don't know why I said Jets. I was looking at the game, or I was looking at Jets Patriots. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited because I'm pretty sure you picked the Dolphins.
I did pick the Dolphins, and it was a very close game.
Yeah.
That's the only game that you got off of me. I got 3 others on you. So
Stop. Okay. I told you, Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is. I have this debate with my father, my brothers. Oh, who would you rather take, Nick Foles or Matt Ryan? Well, this was actually when Nick Foles was signed by the Bears before it all kind of came crashing down. Would you rather Matt Ryan or Nick Foles? It's always Matt Ryan. I wish he had a Super Bowl ring. I really do, because I do think Matt Ryan's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I know his teams have not always been the best, but he's been there. This is his 14th year, I think, 15th year in Atlanta. I mean, the guy comes to play. He might not have his best games all the time, but the guy's, 5-time Pro Bowler, former MVP. I mean, that he can still play. And Kyle Pitts is the real deal. It's National Tight Ends Day. He had 163 yards. Dolphins. I don't want to say they stink because this game, but no, they stink. Dolphins stink.
They stink.
Yeah, okay.
I thought they could pull it out since they were at home. Literally the only thing. I thought that was the only thing that would set them over the top because the Falcons aren't much better, as proven by the score. They're not much better, but
they're 3-3.
The Dolphins stink. Most of these teams. I mean, for the AFC, I mean, you got teams that are trying to like battle for like 4-2 right now, and you got teams that are like 2-4 that should not even be 2-4. They should be 0-6, 0-7 possibly. And it's just like I don't know, man. There's a bunch of teams that are just not good, and the Dolphins are one of them.
I saw before the game, like Marino was talking to Tua, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Marino's gonna hype up. Tua, and it's gonna be great. They're gonna like come out with their hair on fire. I mean, they were decent, but the defense was terrible. Expect more from the players. Brian Flores he's not a bad coach. I do not believe that. It's just the players are not responding. It's just not hitting for the Miami Dolphins right now, and they're 1-6, and I thought they'd be contenders, but just not at this year. Jets Patriots. Now we don't have to go into this one. Patriots. It's nice to see them put up 54 points though. I mean, they were on fire it seems, and I think it was cool.
Did the Jets beat the Titans? How did the Jets beat the Titans?
It's football. I mean, I don't know. It's like I know. That's all I can say. I will say Robert Saleh had a great quote after the game. He said, you shouldn't have to yell at your players when they know they're playing a child's game at a king's ransom. Like you shouldn't have to, like if you have to be yelled at to play the game, then you don't have any business playing the game. So I thought that was a pretty good quote. And there's some coaches, like I like Saleh, I like Dan Campbell. There's some coaches out there that are trying to turn their franchises around, and they're clearly the guys for the job. It's just got to put it together. Bengals Ravens. Look, if anything, this makes the Green Bay Packers win over them in overtime. It just makes it that much better. I mean, it was a great. This isn't college football, but it was a great resume booster. But I mean, seriously, I think the Bengals, man. I mean, they're the number 1 seed in the AFC, and they might be able to stay there. I don't know. They're a playoff team. I know they're a playoff team. Their pass rush is very good. I think Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard are very underrated as well. The offense, I mean, Jamar Chase is just disgusting. Like his yard, I mean, I think he only has like 36 catches on the year, but he has like 700 something yards, 730. I don't know. It's ridiculous. I mean, he's a deep threat. He's such a great route. He runs the routes like Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams. It's elite. And him and Joey B are ridiculous. So Bengals have it rolling. They're 5-2, and they went into Baltimore's house and they whooped them. And Lamar was frustrated after the game. Like the Ravens, I believed in the Ravens because I thought they had it. Like they had the ability to come back in these games where they were losing and they beat the Chiefs. Like I thought they were maybe a team of destiny, but no. Bengals are legit.
This is almost a game that the Ravens needed to win, just to solidify they're at the top of the AFC North.
Yeah.
The Bengals winning this changes a whole bunch of things. I mean,
the
AFC North, I mean, shoot, 3 teams could come out of there easily. 3 teams could easily come out of there.
Maybe 5.
I don't know how you get 5, but between the Ravens, the Bengals, the Steelers, who are coming off their bye week, so we'll have to see what they do coming up. But then the Browns. I mean, that's another weird situation too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, these 2 teams that just played, Baltimore probably just had a bad game. I mean, it happens every once in a while.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened here. I don't think don't think that they're overpowered by the Bengals. I just think they had a bad game and weren't prepared for the Bengals. I think that's just what it is.
I can't wait till they play again. I can't wait till they meet again in Cincinnati. I mean, they're going to come out. I think it'll be the score is going to be closer than this. I mean, the game I think was closer than 41-17, but Cincinnati just kept their foot on the gas.
Yeah, no, I especially with it being in Cincinnati next time, I think Baltimore's going to really dial in and like get their schemes ready and everything else. Especially now that they've played this team instead of teams in prior years who couldn't execute anything that was going on. But yeah, Jamar Chase, I mean, Joe Mixon's having a heck of a year. The fact that he's staying healthy for the most part, I mean, that's huge for them. As long as he can stay healthy, I think they can go far. Samaje Perine is not bad either.
Very underrated, yeah.
But I definitely think Joe Mixon is probably the glue that's holding it all together right now, 100%.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to kind of come on. He's had I think he's had a good start. He hasn't really become that Pro Bowl or All-Pro back kind of. He hasn't been that yet. He's playing like it though so far this year for sure. Not necessarily All-Pro.
Doesn't he have like the fourth most rushing yards right now?
Oh yeah, he's top five. He's doing a hell of a job so far. So Cincinnati's at the top. Another 5-2 team in the AFC. Raiders, Eagles. Did not catch most of this game. I saw Max Crosby pull up Troy Polamalu and fly over the line and prevent the Eagles from scoring at the goal line, which is pretty sweet. Fun fact: Derek Carr has the most 90+ completion percentage games when he throws for over more than 30 attempts. No other quarterback in NFL history has one. So Derek Carr is, I mean, some days he doesn't play as fast, I get it. And so, people are kind of flip-flopping. Is he elite? Is he not? I would say, when people are saying Joe Flacco was elite,
yeah,
Derek Carr is more than that. He's better than prime Joe Flacco. Derek Carr is
Joe Flacco going back to the Jets though.
Broadway Joe. But yeah, man, the Raiders are sitting 5-2. They've responded after this whole Gruden thing. I mean, they're 2-0. Offense is humming. Rich Bisaccia, I mean, who knows what happened? He could be the coach long term. Never know. So Raiders are sitting pretty too.
Yeah, there's not much more to say about it. I mean, Miles Sanders is going to be done for a little while, I think.
Yeah.
But they never really incorporated the run game before him. I mean, besides using Jalen Hurts, who had the most amount of rushes again for the Eagles. It's like, what? I just don't understand it. I don't understand the Eagles. I don't understand their whole game plan. Sirianni, I do not understand what the heck is going on there. Good for Bisaccia, good for the Raiders. I mean, we both predicted it. I don't know.
I never understood the Sirianni hire in the beginning. I think it was one of those maybe he's a young coach. He was with Frank. He could be a whiz kid. That's what I think they were maybe banking on. They needed a new, they know Frank Reich. He's from Philly. Maybe they'll bring this guy in here. Number one, he wasn't an offensive. He wasn't like a coordinator. He was a quarterback coach. So he wasn't even at that next level. And I'm sure he's a bright mind. I know it's funny to watch Ty Schmidt and the boys make fun of him on the Pat McAfee show. Ty does a great impersonation, but I didn't understand the hire in the beginning. I think they could have found better guys. He's not it in Philly. I don't see it. So it's a mess in Philadelphia right now, and that's not a city you want to just can't go on for much longer. I know that it's a tough place to play. You want to talk Packers Washington?
Do I want to talk about it?
Yeah, or do you just want me to talk about it? I mean,
there's not much to say. Heineke ran his ass off. That's about all I'm going to say about it. Rodgers, I mean, he spread the ball around. Your run game was almost non-existent, but I mean, didn't need to be. You guys won 24-10. I mean, I think everyone in the world was imagining that the Packers were going to win this game pretty handily. Now you're going to get your butts whooped this Thursday. So go ahead.
I thought you were gonna just say all facts. The game was at Lambeau Field. The Packers were playing the Washington football team. Aaron Rodgers did his thing. No. Yeah, so it was not, again, they're playing more like their 2019 selves where they're not winning maybe as beautifully as everyone likes, whatever. Defense is stepping up though. Remember that whole 15 for 15 red zone touchdown thing? They stopped Washington 4 times. I know it's Washington, I get it, but they're still an NFL team. You got to stop them. They did. They forced 2 turnovers, 4 fumbles, or 2 turnovers, 2 more forced fumbles, 4 sacks. Running game was not great, but again, they were playing a great front. I know the stats don't say it, but the Washington front is legit. They got some studs, and they relied on Aaron, and Aaron found Devontae, and he was whipping the ball. They got Big Bob Tunyon involved too, which was great. It was just a good win defensively. It was that was probably the best defensive game. Well, they keep making strides, and defense it was their day, I think. But the offense did their thing. Aaron's coming along, and I really believe quietly Aaron is going to be in the MVP conversation when it's kind of all said and done. I know it's not there because it's Kyler, it's Tom, it's maybe Matthew Stafford, maybe Carr, I don't know. But quietly, I feel like Aaron might not throw a pick for a while, knock on wood. But if he doesn't throw many picks and he has, 30 or 40 touchdown passes or something like that, he'll be in there. It'll be close because Kyler's on another level right now. But just keep an eye out for Aaron. He'll be lying in the weeds. He's not there right now, but maybe later in the season when he's still there. Like it happened last year. Kind of Russ was the guy early on. But he kind of fell off with a couple bad games, and Aaron kind of snuck up and whatever. But I would just keep an eye on that. But we'll talk about the Packers game tomorrow. No Devontae, Lazard.
No,
yeah, we'll talk about that. It's going to be a very tough game. So that's going to be tough. Lions Rams. Want to quickly go there? I mean,
how the hell the Rams didn't win by 100? I'm shocked. Detroit. I mean, hey, good for them. They ran a few different trick plays for punts and stuff like that, but they still stink. I mean, they're going to go 0-17 more than likely. Let's not get past that point. Although I wouldn't be shocked if their one win was against the Bears this year. I mean, that's just how that is right now. But yeah, I mean, there's not much more to that game.
They're playing like an inspired winless team. I like their coach. They're fighting and they're trying hard. They really are. And I think they're better than some of the one win teams. I think they're better than the Jets. I think they're better than Jacksonville. They had some great. Dan Campbell rolled the dice, onside kick, a couple 4th down conversions. It was great. They had a chance at the end, Goff threw a pick. But it was just, the Rams. Again, this wasn't their best game, obviously. But combination of Donald and Ramsey together forced Jared Goff to make a bad play at the end. Ramsey, like the all-pro corner he is, makes a play. So Lions continue their own, their 0 whatever ways, 0-7 or whatever they are. But they're trying. I know that's not, this isn't, the national,
you don't get a participation trophy. Sorry there, bud.
Yeah. But, they're giving it their all, which is, something. It's not everything, but it's something. Bears, Buccaneers, do you want to go into this?
I don't even know what's going on with the team. I mean, I think everybody's lost interest. Well, I don't think everybody's lost interest. I just think that
they're pissed.
Nobody knows what's going on. Literally, nobody knows what's going on. I feel like that's just a big burden. And for a must-win year, they don't have anything for the must-win mentality because our cap hit next year is going to be terrible. Our defense is going to go downhill. They need to get rid of Nagy. They need to get rid of Pace. I think they're falling into way too much of a drought. I gave Nagy too much credit for the 2 wins. I got a little bit on top. Got a little bit excited. And gave him a little too much credit, but I don't know, man. The
Mhm.
Bears, we're gonna have to see what comes here in the near future. I don't know what to think if they're gonna win or if the Niners are gonna win next weekend yet.
Yeah, there's a chance that it could get ugly down the road. Hey, which is actually probably Nagy might get fired, Pace might get fired, so it might,
We need this guy back.
yeah, yeah. But this was going to Tampa, like I figured this would kind of not. I thought it would be similar to the score line. It was just Bears were kind of in over their head in this one, and Fields looks lost, but that's not his fault. It's got to be coaching. He's got to know what he's doing out there. Got to be comfortable. Got to get some plays where he feels comfortable. Like just a 5-yard check down. Even that gets a quarterback going. Get him moving
Need an
around.
offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Need for our receivers not to be running 15 yards downfield before they look at the football.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody blames Justin Fields for holding on to the football way too long. Now, yes, he does it at points in time. I would agree. But when we send our receivers 15 yards downfield and Justin Fields is getting hit within a second and a half, it's not really a recipe for success there.
Yeah. No, I get that 100%. I feel like Nagy knows what he's doing, but at the same time, I don't feel like he knows what he's doing, and the offense is kind of showing it. Defense is trying to hold it all together. They just can't. Bilal Nichols got thrown out of the game for throwing a punch. The frustrations. The defense is like, okay, well, can the offense do something? Because I know the defense is sitting there kind of rolling their eyes and, come on, guys, help us out one time. But,
Do the
anyway.
Bears have the most ejections within the last 2 years?
I don't know.
I
They're
feel
at
like
the
they
top,
do.
I'm sure. Probably. Of course, I remember the punch thrown last year against the Saints. Yeah. So Buccaneers moved to 6-1. Buccaneers are rolling. Brady's on fire. Whatever. It's not like that guy's done it before. Cardinals Texans. Not much to talk about here. It was kind of odd early on. It was like 5-3 or 5-0, whatever it was. But then they got rolling, and Chandler Jones coming off of the COVID list for Thursday night while the Packers are losing guys, so that's big for them. And Cardinals are rolling, and this is going to be a big game coming up. We'll talk about this more tomorrow, but this is regardless. It was like Aaron Rodgers on the other side. Like Aaron Rodgers has won many games in this league, even without Devontae. Without it's happened before. Like the playoff games, or the playoff game in 2015, didn't have Jordy, didn't have Devontae. Randall Cobb left with a punctured lung, and he got the game to overtime because he's Aaron freaking Rodgers. So Arizona is going to be, I'm sure they'll be ready, but this is still Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers are going to have to get creative. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Colts Niners in what people are calling a cyclone or whatever or something. I forgot what they're calling it, but a lot of rain. A lot of rain. Yeah, and the Colts. Again, it was an odd game because these are two teams that don't play each other very often, and they're both under 500, and the Niners are having a weird quarterback situation, and the Colts, I thought, were better. The Colts are always better than their record indicates, I feel like. And I think the better team won here.
I do, too. The Niners had, 10 chances to pick off Carson Wentz. They beat themselves at the end of the day, but Jonathan Taylor, stud. Michael Pittman Jr., stud.
Carson Wentz is balling. Carson Wentz is playing very well.
He's balling, but at the same time, he could have 5 picks on the stat line as well.
Yeah.
When he flipped the one to the guy's arms at the 5-yard line.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right. I did forget about that. I forgot about that. Thank you for bringing me back to planet Earth. Thank you. No, yeah, but he's playing well. Besides that, he's been playing.
He's playing well, but he could be doing a lot worse at the same time. It's all perspective, but
yeah,
he's getting the job done. I think they're finally starting to get into a groove as a team, and that's basically what they've needed to do for a long time
now. So the Colts play Tennessee next week too. So this was a big win to get them kind of rolling, and it's a big divisional game next week at home. So that's a big game for them as well. Niners, Chicago. Should be a win for them in my opinion. Obviously, you have your own opinions on that, but still they're in trouble. Quarterback, They know Trey Lance is the future, yet he's hurt, and they're stuck with Jimmy G. That's at least what it feels like with Shanahan. Sounds like Shanahan does not want to have Jimmy G in there, and I think on the radio today, Shanahan said he did not play his best game, obviously, but for him to keep saying it, I think they're just getting tired of it, and they just want Trey Lance in there.
Yeah. That's gonna be an interesting situation for when Trey Lance goes in, because he didn't sound too happy about Trey Lance last time that Lance played. I mean, so I don't know what's gonna happen with the 49ers here coming up. I think they're gonna beat the Bears next weekend, but it's past that, I don't know what's going on with them.
It's a mess, man. Hey, it's football. Saints, Seahawks. Look, the game was sloppy, and I think the better team won. But can we talk about the Manning? Dude, the Manning cast is so great. It's awesome. I mean, everyone's going to be watching it now, and Eli, Peyton is clearly the dominant force in the conversations. Eli is kind of a goofball, I think, with the middle fingers and that whole thing. That was hilarious. But Marshawn Lynch dropping an F-bomb in there, it was awkward with the technology. I think it's a little, because you have to wait for the other person to say something. But it was good to see that again last night. It really was.
It was good to see. I'm not saying this because Subert's a WNBA player or anything like that, but can we stick to football people?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I learn a lot about the football game and pay more attention to the football game.
Yeah.
When Peyton's digesting everything down. That was great to hear Sue Bird and everything that she's done, her being basically the coach point guard for Seattle over many years, winning 4 titles. I mean, she's fantastic. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But when we're watching football, I kind of want to hear. Brady was great.
That was cool.
Drew Brees was kind of iffy though for me last night, because I don't know.
It was awkward because his kids were there, and he does it on Sunday Night Football, and he calls Notre Dame games, so he does it. It's just this was kind of I don't know how often he hangs out with other I'm sure he did it when he was playing, obviously, but when he hangs out with other guys, I'm sure he doesn't hang out with a ton of other guys watching football. I'm sure I'll watch it with his kids or something.
Well, I think it was the fact that it was the Saints playing.
Yeah,
that was true. The big fact of it, and that because you can see at points in time he's why are you doing that? Those body expressions throughout the game. So it's just
he's trying not to he doesn't want to shit on them, but he also does he's trying to be unbiased or whatever. And it's tough. It's tough. You see me. It's tough for me. Look at my backdrop. So it is what it is. But it was great. I mean, I don't know if Jameis is the guy moving forward for New Orleans. If we look at the game, they're 4-2, and they did what they did. Their defense. I've been saying this. The defense for New Orleans, they might not be the best, but that's their strong suit. And Sean Payton can get creative enough to the point where he can lead this team to the postseason. But at some point, they're going to run into a dynamic offense. Can the New Orleans Saints defense stop Arizona? Could they stop Green Bay? I mean, they did. Week 1 was an anomaly, I think. Can they go up to Green Bay and do it? Can they do it to Dallas? I don't know. But hey, they're 4-2. They appear to be a wild card team in this moment. That's how I look at New Orleans.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to keep up with that 4-2 pace. I don't.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but
okay.
I mean,
they got Tampa next week. They got Tampa.
Wrong, yeah, that's going to be a big teller. So
I think they're going to New Orleans is they're a 9-10 win team, and we'll see what the final tally is. I mean, it'll be a race between. I think they will sneak in. It'll be a race between them and Minnesota. Give me another. I mean, I don't.
Well, let's do this. Your 4 winners are going to be the Packers, the Cardinals, more than likely.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Cowboys,
and
Bucks.
So then from there you get what? 3
division or 3. I would say okay. Well, maybe looking at it that way. I mean, I would say New Orleans. I would say Minnesota, and maybe Seattle gets hot. maybe Seattle gets hot. I don't know.
How about the Rams?
Why did I not mention the Rams? I have no idea why. This is just some kind of sick trick you're playing on me. Of course, the Rams. I don't know why I forgot about the Rams. No, the Rams will be. Yeah, I guess because I was just saying the Rams are like in that class with the Cowboys, the Bucs, and I forgot about them. So like they would be that first wild card seed, and then you have I think Vikings Saints because I mean who else below the Vikings and Saints is right there? I don't know. I don't. Not Washington, not the Eagles, no one in the NFC East. Not Carolina, not now.
No.
I mean Atlanta, no. They're not gonna be able to keep up. No, I mean they're a nice story because they're 3-3, but I don't see them doing that. And San Francisco, the quarterback situation's a mess. So
it's all gonna come down to what the NFC West does.
Yeah, that is very true. So it was a close game. I was happy it was a close game. Matt Hasselbeck getting put in the Ring of Honor was cool to see. It was a sloppy game, but it was a good game. It was raining. It was good to see a close game. Like there have been a lot of close games. I'm always, even if they're sloppy, it's cool to see that. But Seattle, they need Russ to get back quickly. They do. They need it. I mean, Geno Smith, was holding onto the ball differently than Justin Fields. He was holding onto the ball a little too long, and the Saints DB, their pass rush. I mean, Jordan, Demario Davis were all over it. So New Orleans defensively had a great game, and Saints offense just enough. Alvin Kamara, I think, is the best pass catching back of all time. I'm going to say it. Yeah, I think he's the best pass catching running back of all time. I really believe that. Dude's a stud. I mean, we'll see what happens with Michael Thomas. I think it's supposed to be back this week or in the next few weeks. But I mean, Kamara, man, it's just his balance. Like when he has the ball in his hands to stay up, or his Allen Iverson crossover move. I mean, he has a lot of tools, and he's unbelievable. He doesn't drop a lot of passes. He's a stud, and I would be terrified to cover him in the open field. So he's a stud.
I'll give you that point, but for this era, I would not say of all time. I would say for this era. Now, Christian McCaffrey's a close second. Mm-hmm. Peyton and Barry Sanders, I mean, both of those guys.
I would say those guys are better running backs. Or literally just hand off from the ball, like that kind of stuff.
I just think even a quarterback.
You would know more than me about that stuff. I'm sorry. I try to keep my mind, Northeast Wisconsin. I don't pay attention to what happens in Soldier Field that much. But no, you're right. I mean, Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, two of the greatest ever, obviously. And I think in terms of a receiver, Kamara's right there. But overall, Kamara still has a ways to go. But I think he's only 26, 27. He's already a 4-time pro. I mean, the guy's a stud. And I think I've said this for at least this season. I think Alvin Kamara, when healthy, is the best offensive playmaker. I know Devontae Adams is a receiver. I know Devontae Adams is great, does not drop the ball. I know Tyreek Hill's great. There's some great running backs, obviously, but Kamara does it all. And I just think he's a total pro and is a machine. So I love Kamara, and I think the Saints, I think they'll sneak into the playoffs as a wild because I don't think any other team out there will hit their level. But it's interesting. I mean, I'm trying to look at some of these as we kind of close this episode out. Trying to look at some of these standings. The NFC is pretty much all. Again, you have the Cardinals, the Bucs, the Packers, the Cowboys, the Rams, and then below that, okay, Saints, Vikings, and then, maybe the Seahawks get hot. I don't see any other teams, though, that are going to be there. We might have all of our playoff teams. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now in the NFC. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just – I feel like for the top end, the NFC is probably better than the AFC for the top end.
Mm-hmm.
But
AFC's deeper.
Man, AFC is so much deeper.
Yeah. I mean, the Chiefs are at the 12 spot. I mean,
that's just crazy.
I mean, there are a lot.
That's just crazy.
5-2.
Well, the Bears are still a 9 seed for the NFC.
they're a half game back of the Vikings. The Vikings didn't play last week, and they're still in the wild card spot. But I mean, AFC's so deep, man. We'll see if the Bengals can stay at that one spot. Raiders look better than they have in the past. Chargers didn't play last week. Bills, Titans. Titans beat the Bills, but a lot of people still think the Bills are better. Like, I thought the Ravens were the team of destiny. That's what I call it. Browns are sitting there. Steelers might start to get warmed up here. Colts, I don't know, man. Patriots, Bill Belichick. It's all a big mess, and that's beautiful. Quite honestly, if I'm going to put it poetically, it's very beautiful. Because it's always nice to have a big race, and I don't have an answer. In the NFC, I think we have answers. I think we know who's basically going to be where. We don't know the seedings yet, obviously, but AFC, we have no idea yet.
Yeah, there's so many question marks around almost the entire league, but
for sure
it'll be fun. It'll be fun
for sure.
We're not even fully halfway yet, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. That's great too. Longer season. Forget we're not even halfway. Okay, before we go, you have a shout out, or do you not really care?
Shout out the Cyclones winning on homecoming
That's right.
day.
You know what? Sorry, I interrupted you. Finish.
I was gonna say against the Oklahoma State number 8 ranked football team. That was a heck of a win. But also, I know where you're going with this. That taunting call, dumbest call in the history of sports calls.
It's ridiculous.
I still don't understand it.
It's terrible. It is absolutely terrible. And remember a guy named Deion Sanders who did that all the time? Like, yeah, it's just garbage. I understand. Trust me, I understand the showing up the opponent thing. I do, but that was bad. That was really bad. But hey, Iowa State, big time. They always find a way to beat big time teams at home. It's crazy. So that's your shout out. My shout out. Who am I shouting out today? Trying to think of some stories I saw. Okay, we'll go soccer. It's Carly Lloyd's final game tonight. Greatest soccer player of all, at least greatest female soccer player for sure. One of the greatest soccer players ever of this era. Final game tonight. I'm watching. I know you're not much of a soccer fan. Just give it a watch. Soccer is great because it's a team game, number one. Okay. I've realized this. They're not flopping because they're hurt. They're flopping for the call. So it's not like
stupid.
It's like the NBA now. It's like the NBA. I get it, but you're just trying to find a way to win, and I respect it. I do. And luckily, officials have gotten smarter, and they realize the flops, and they'll be like, "Oh, you got to get up. You got to get. That's not a penalty." So I get it. Refs have gotten smarter with it and stuff like that. But Carly Lloyd's final game tonight. My favorite player of all time. Shout out. Good luck, Carly. I love you. Greatest player ever. We'll talk tomorrow, though. We'll talk tomorrow. Break down week 8 now. We're still not even halfway. Right? Yeah, my math is correct. Yep. So it's great. I'm excited for it. Greatest game Thursday night, Packers Cardinals, even though players are out. It's going to be a close game. It will. Aaron Rodgers teams, even without, they're 6-0 without Devontae Adams. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Their baseball tonight? Yeah, game 1, right? You're wearing the Braves. You're wearing the Braves hat. Yeah, all right. Hoping the Braves win. That's a baseball town. It's a baseball town.
I don't want Dusty to win. That's basically all it comes down to. I don't want Dusty and Astros to win.
I know a lot of Cubs fans are like, "Oh, I'm rooting for Dusty Baker." Yeah. I'm not rooting for the Astros. It'd be nice to see Atlanta when they haven't won in 22.
Don't associate me with the Cubs fans here. Let's not get it twisted.
Let's get that straight.
I'm still a White Sox guy through and through.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So
should be fun.
Braves.
Should be fun. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I saw a stat. Blue Jays and Mariners both won 91 games. The Braves won 90, but somehow the Braves are going to the World Series. Sports, it's baseball. What are you going to do about it? Yeah, go Braves. Go ATL. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you. We'll reconvene tomorrow.
Real good morning.